Today we're sewing the Reggie Tie Back Peplum top, a free pattern from Tiana's closet, and I'm using a really special fabric for this one. I had just enough of this vintage 1970s piece from my stash that has this beautiful border print of concentrated flowers, which I used for the upper bodice pieces. And for the ties, I went back and forth between a dark chambray and a mauve pink silk linen, and I ended up choosing the darker fabric since it perfectly matched one of the flowers in the main print, and it just pulled everything together. This is a great beginner-friendly pattern. We've got a couple darts for shaping, a clean facing finish, and some light gathering for the peplum, so it's a really satisfying sew. Let's get started. Here is the wrong side of my front bodice piece, and I've gone ahead and marked my darts. Now I'll pin them in place. Sew from the outside edge to the point, leaving thread tails at the point so you can tie them in knots. Then press the darts downward. Place the front and back bodice pieces right sides together at the shoulder seams and the side seams and pin in place. Sew the shoulder seams and the side seams with a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Finish the raw edges together and press toward the back. Here are each of my facing pieces. I've gone ahead and applied interfacing to the wrong sides of each piece. Now I'll place them right sides together along the shoulder seams. And pin. Sew each seam at 3/8 of an inch and press the seams open. Now that my shoulder seams are sewn and pressed open, I'm going to finish the outer edges. Finishing along the outer edges of the center front as well as the back neckline all the way around. Here is one of my tie pieces. I'm going to fold it in half lengthwise, right sides together. Sew one short edge and the long edge with a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Trim the short edges of the seam allowance of the sewn short end and turn this right side out. Give your tie a good press and repeat for each of the 6 ties. We'll place each of our ties right sides together with the center backs. The first ties will be about 3/8 to a 1/2 of an inch below the top raw edge, so that we don't catch that in the neckline stitches later. Pin each tie in place, aligning the other notches. Place the facing right sides together with the center back and add that to your pinning. Once the center back facings are pinned to the center back bodice, continue pinning the facing around the neckline. We're going to sew the facing to the center back and the neckline with a 3/8 inch seam allowance, starting from one bottom center back all the way up to the neckline, then sewing straight across that neckline and back down to the bottom of the opposite center back. At the top horizontal corners of the center back, make sure you're not catching the tie in your stitches. Snip into the curves of the neckline. Also trim the seam allowance at the back corners. To make sure that our facing stays nicely to the inside, we can also understitch. Sew the facing to its seam allowance underneath with about an 1/8 inch seam allowance around the entire facing. Turn the facing to the inside of the garment along the main seam and give it a good press. One additional step to keep that facing to the inside of the garment is to stitch in the ditch of the shoulder seams. Align the shoulder seam of the facing and the main garment and pin in place. Stitch in the ditch from the inner neckline as far as the facing, on both sides. For the bottom hem allowance of the sleeve, I've gone ahead and pressed it to the wrong side by 3/4 of an inch, but you can choose the width of this hem allowance. If your fabric does fray, you can also choose to press that bottom raw edge to the wrong side by 1/4 of an inch, then press the remaining hem allowance to the wrong side to encase the raw edge. I'm going to unfold that pressed edge for now and place the sleeve right sides together and sew the underarm seam with a 3/8 inch seam allowance, finish the raw edges and press to the back. Then I'll refold the hem allowance to the wrong side and I'll edge stitch in place from the right side of the fabric. Place the sleeve right sides together with its corresponding armhole, aligning the underarm seams and the notches, and pin in place. Sew your sleeve into the armhole with a 3/8 inch seam allowance, finish the raw edges, and repeat to attach both sleeves. Place both of your peplum pieces right sides together along the side seams and pin in place. Sew both side seams with a 3/8 inch seam allowance, finish the raw edges together, and press toward the back piece. I've also gone ahead and hemmed the bottom of the peplum by folding that hem allowance to the wrong side by 3/4 of an inch and top stitching in place just as I did to hem the sleeves. Then along the top raw edges of the peplum, we're going to sew gathering stitches. Sewing basting stitches within the seam allowance from side seam to side seam, and then again from side seam to side seam on the other side of the peplum. Leave thread tails on both sides of the seam so you have threads to pull on both sides of the peplums. Here is the bottom edge of my back bodice piece. As you can see, I've already tied my ties. Along the bottom raw edge, I'm going to place the finished center back edges to butt up against each other. And I'm going to baste in place with a 3/8 inch seam allowance. Place your peplum right sides together with the bottom edge of the bodice and pin in place at the side seams. Then we can pull the peplum basting stitches for the front and then for the back so that the peplum fits the bottom of the bodice. Once it fits, pin in place. Once you have your peplum pinned to the bodice all the way around, sew with a 3/8 inch seam allowance, finish the raw edges together, and press up toward the bodice. And now the top is complete. Thank you for watching this sew along. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future sewing tutorials, and I'll see you in the next video.